Hi, my name is Kishan Chetan. I lead the program management team for sales, marketing, and business process within Dynamics 365 customer engagement. Today, we're super excited to speak about sales effectiveness and our point of view and what we really believe makes leading sales organizations win. Consumers' buying habits have significantly changed. Each of us know that we do a lot of research before we buy any product, and this type of impact or behavior has an impact on the enterprises as well. Most of the customers are 57% done through the buying process before they even talk to the vendor or the supplier, so a lot more research done up front. That's where marketing automation and all those capabilities come in. In addition to having done their research, the number of stakeholders that are typically involved in a B2B purchase decision is more than 5. That means that there's a lot of discussions, there's a lot of alignment, and a lot of buy-in that a salesperson or a sales team need to obtain. Additionally, old techniques or old capabilities such as cold mail, cold call just do not work anymore. So the salesperson now has to change and adapt to this changing world. In addition to the changing landscape that the salesperson is dealing with, sellers are also bogged down by the complexity of selling. There are a lot of different stakeholders, there are a lot of different systems, potentially complex processes, including compliance, legal, and additional control processes within the organization. All of this leads to a set of complexity that salespeople are not trained or do not have the capabilities to deal with. Clearly, this particular set of complexity leads the sellers to spend actually 78% of their time on non-selling activities and only 22% on selling activities. This is a significant loss of productivity for them and significant loss of productivity to the organization, potentially hurting the top line. This lack of productivity and effectiveness has a detrimental impact on revenue. Several surveys have indicated that there's a severe monetary impact in terms of the lack of productivity, almost up to $100,000 for an extra selling hour. This has a direct impact on the top line and also the bottom line of the company. Focusing on sales effectiveness and relevant technology has a very positive impact on the sales of various enterprises. These companies which tend to emphasize on these disciplines tend to be leaders in their industry sector. McKinsey has done a study which proves that companies that essentially focus on advanced sales capabilities tend to have 30% higher growth than the average company in the sector. A recent Microsoft survey indicated that sales-centric group of companies enjoyed a 50% increase in revenue growth. These are companies which focused on sales effectiveness technologies, enabled their salespeople to be productive and effective. And in the prior slide, you saw the McKinsey study, which indicated that these companies tended to have a 30% higher growth than their industry peers. So clearly growth in their own top line and growth compared to their industry peers, which makes the obvious case that companies need to focus on sales-centric capabilities. What makes these sales-centric companies excel, and what makes them do better relative to their peers? The key is that they work to get insights from the data. Everybody has data. You have multiple types of data, structured, unstructured, and in fact, we've created perhaps more data in the last year than all of humanity, and there are multiple studies around that. But the key that these companies do is to really work to get the insights from the data, and what's perhaps even more important is then use these insights to drive personalized, proactive, predictive customer engagement and selling processes. They have deep expertise in business processes and deep rigor that they actually tune and change based on the insights that they've obtained. This is what makes successful sales companies more effective and compare and work better than their peers. Productivity is still a very, very key imperative for business organizations and sales organizations. As you can see from the study that Microsoft conducted, more than 80% of the organizations believe that productivity is either very important or extremely important for their sales folks. But there's another aspect, another element that's becoming even more critical, which is customer engagement, where the sales organizations believe unanimously that it's either very important or extremely important. And what this is really about having personalized, predictive, proactive customer engagement and developing long-term relationships that lead to better selling and better opportunities and more number of opportunities and larger deal sizes. So far in our presentation, we have focused on some of the key trends and some of the key drivers that sales organizations and sales leadership care about. Now we wanted to focus on our point of view about how we can drive sales effectiveness in the modern workplace. How do we really enable sellers to become top performers and sales organizations to be leaders and not laggards? And we believe it's basically three things. The first one is focus. Ensure that the sales teams and sales leadership focuses on what the right opportunities are. There's a lot of things that they could be doing. Sales is a very interrupt-driven culture. So how do we really make sure that they stay focused? First and second is once they stay focused, how can they win faster? How can they ensure that they're productive? How can we ensure that they can finish up their work in any place at any point of time? They have access to all the data that they need anywhere to get their job done. The third aspect is about performing better. It's about ensuring that the entire organization is performing better, ensuring that the engagement with the customers are more predictive. So these are the three aspects that we believe are critical for sales organizations to be successful. First, stay focused. Second, win faster. And third, perform better as an organization. Staying focused, what does that mean? What we believe staying focused means is that salespeople and sales teams focus on the right prospects and the customers. And this includes very structured ways of ensuring that the various leads and prospects that are available are scored. That could be scored based on predictive analytics and advanced analytics scenarios, or could be scored based on models. Some way of indicating to the salespeople of how to prioritize their time, which is actually one of the most key and precious factors. Second, focus on performance and ensure that sales leadership and sales teams have a clear eye and a clear view of exactly what's working well, what are the things that they're doing that's working well with the specific customer or classes of customers. And third, based on the specific visibility, enable them to make better decisions based on insights. Really understand what offers work for a specific class of customers, what type of products or what combination of products should be positioned for a specific customer. So really use the insights based on all of the customer data that's there to deliver better decisions and make better decisions. And these are the aspects that help sales teams stay more focused on the right prospects with better visibility and better decision making based on the insights. Now that the sales reps have focused on the right prospects and opportunities, what are the things that an organization needs to do in order to enable their sales teams to win faster? First, they need to really enable their users and salespeople to work anywhere, anytime, have all the access, everything that's needed on their fingertips when they need it. So truly thinking mobile first and then sometimes mobile only is the real way to enable this. Second, they have to provide extremely good collaboration capabilities, ability to collaborate with other sales teams, but actually also the ability to collaborate potentially with partners, external stakeholders, and other organizations within your organization. Maybe pricing, maybe procurement, maybe internal audit. So we don't know what teams they would have to collaborate with, but it's really important for the salespeople to be able to collaborate with other teams. Last but not the least, make it very easy for the sales teams to be able to use the technology very easily. They should not have to master an absolute new technology. The UI should be consumer grade so that salespeople are essentially using the technologies they should be familiar with. There should be a lot of office productivity type capabilities that are there, whether that's Excel or whether that's PowerPoint, that they're comfortable with. So it's really about using the tools that they're familiar with. So to win faster, make sure that your sales teams are mobile and can work anywhere. Make sure that they have the ability to collaborate very easily, as well as make it very easy for them to adapt to your technology and get productive and hit the ground running very quickly with that. How do we think that organizations need to perform better. First, anticipating your customers' needs becomes very important. You don't have to always wait for the customer to tell you what you want. Enable the customer to write better RFPs instead of waiting for the customer to actually come back to you with the RFP. Engage the customer in a better way. Provide them the right message at the right place at the right time. That's very crucial to have your message be more effective. And the last and very significant is the ability to build high-performing teams that are very motivated, that collaborate well with each other, that are knowledgeable and really driven to make the customer successful as well as impact the top line of your company. Over the next few slides, we wanted to give you our perspective on how do we actually optimize the sales effectiveness when you get into the real process. What are the right ways to qualify leads? What are the right ways to develop leads, whether that's social or any other aspects? What should we do in order to propose quicker and make sure that you can actually win faster? How can we close better? How can we have better personalized engagement? And last but not the least, how do we ensure that you're constantly managing your business based on right aligned metrics that everybody is marching towards the same goal? We believe that the best way to qualify and make sure that you have the relevant leads is first getting a real good consumer insights, to have a 360-degree view of the customer, understand customers' history, understand customers' needs, understand what are the imperative business problems that the customer is facing. Engage with the customer across the channels they're comfortable with. Email is clearly still one of the key channels for business communication. Use that channel and make sure that your CRM is integrated into the emails for your salespeople so that they have all the relevant information in their fingertips when they need it. Make sure that you've enabled them to use social as a very powerful channel to understand what they know about the customer, what they know about the customer's brands, products, services, and the reputation of the customer. As sales teams move to developing a lead from qualifying a lead, focus on the use of social selling. Use your social graph, your social network to ensure that you're discovering the right prospects as well as reaching out and connecting to the right prospects. Provide very good technologies for your salespeople to be able to reach out and communicate with their customer. Provide them the ability to go across multiple channels, whether that's email, whether that's in-mail, but still personalized so that the right relevant message is provided to the customer in a predictable manner. Provide your salespeople the ability to be productive anywhere. It's extremely crucial to have them fully mobile enabled so that when they're on the go, they can still be as productive as they are when they're back in the office. You'd love to get your sales organizations to propose more, and it's very important to enable your sales teams to create very effective sales proposals which address the customer problems, which are personalized for that customer, and be able to bring in the relevant experts at the right time to make the whole sales cycle very effective and reduce cycle time. It's very important that all this proprietary and confidential information is very secure as well, especially given a lot of your sales teams tend to be mobile. It's very important to have the right security in place, whether that's you're securing your mobile apps or whether you're securing the mobile device as well. Don't underestimate the impact that security can have, especially in highly competitive environments where you're working with multiple competitors in order to close a sales deal. So make sure that you have all of the capabilities enabled for your salespeople so they can go get the proposal very quickly and more effectively to their customers. Every salesperson who's excellent is a great closer. So how should you enable your closers to close more effectively? Make it very easy for them to deliver the right presentations. Make it very easy for them to get the relevant content for them to have that killer presentation, have the killer content that they can provide to their customers, have it personalized for their industry. So make sure that it's very easy for them to get the relevant content and give all the technologies that they can have so they can deliver that presentation easily. Another thing that really differentiates and separates the organization, which are great, from the average organizations is having a consistent selling process. And this is a set of best practices which are relevant for that specific industry or for the specific subsector, but also having a lot of capabilities such as automation within the process so they can bring in all the relevant stakeholders across different organizations in a consistent manner. And this focus on business process and delivering this business process, tracking the business process, and understanding which parts of the process are working well or not working well is extremely crucial. Also provide technologies such as being able to easily share documents, get the signatures online, document management type technologies, but really focus on providing your salespeople with the right content to be able to deliver the closing presentation and ensure that they're following a consistent business process that really helps your organizations be successful. How do we ensure that you manage your sales operations and sales organizations effectively? Use reporting and use dashboarding effectively. Create a consistent set of metrics that you track consistently across your sales organization. Ensure that your salespeople and sales teams' incentives are aligned to those metrics, and make sure that it's transparent and visible and available to everybody so that people know not only what are the metrics they're driving towards, but how are they doing on those metrics and how are they doing on those metrics compared to everybody else in the organization. One of the key things that's often not totally considered in a sales organization, which is focusing on the metrics, is making the whole process of selling fun. Sales teams and salespeople tend to be inherently competitive, but they also would like to participate in games and they would like to participate in contests. And how do we ensure that you can bring in areas or concepts of gamification to make the whole process of selling fun? How can you make it easy to create sales contests where multiple people or multiple teams of people can actually participate against each other in a different contest? And how can you use these tools and techniques to further drive better adoption of the product, drive better data quality within your CRM system so that you can then have better metrics and you can track your KPIs better. So a lot of great things to consider and that you can implement in your organizations to manage your sales effectiveness better. A great example of a leading sales organization practicing sales effectiveness is Grant Thornton, which is an accounting firm, and it uses Microsoft technologies, including Dynamics 365, to deliver better sales and better value to clients. What they're really focused on is making sure that they're focusing on the right prospects, making sure that they had information about those prospects coming from various sources, they had the right industry research and all the relevant information, making sure that everybody collaborated and shared that information across the organizations so that getting the information and insights from multiple people makes the whole team smarter together. And what are the results that they've achieved as a consequence of that? They had a 450% increase in the number of opportunities, 39% increase in the number of wins, and 36% increase in deal size. So the perfect trifecta of increased opportunities, increased number of wins, and increase in the actual deal size itself. Trek Bicycles is an iconic brand that started in Waterloo, Wisconsin, and is now a global brand. Their brand is based on three key premises. Understand their customers really well, have a great product out there, and ensure that the customer is supported very well in adopting the product. They've used Dynamics CRM Online in many ways. First, they've brought sales, warranties, claims, all of the different aspects of working with the customers in one system so that the inside sales team, as well as the field sales team, as well as the claims team, all of them are really looking at one view of the customer, understanding what is going on with a specific customer, tracking progress, understanding responsiveness, and optimizing their business process. Another very key aspect for them in terms of sales effectiveness is really truly enabling the various parts of their organization to collaborate using Yammer, and that's collaborating to understand what's happening with the customers, what are the different customer issues if there are any, and really democratized collaboration across the entire organization. This is yet another great example of delivering better sales effectiveness by bringing in all of the different customer engagement processes together and driving better collaboration, better insights, better processes of interacting with the customer. Thank you to your time for participating in this webinar, and a big thank you to the inside sales team that enabled us to speak about a topic that we're very passionate about, enabling better sales effectiveness within your organization. Thank you.